Hi, it's me, Mark Monlux, and I'm here for another movie recommendation. Now, I would normally recommend sci-fi or fantasy or particularly horror movies because those were the type of films I would watch on a Friday night. But I'm going to make a recommendation this week because one, it's a really good film. And two, so a friend of mine brought it up, was asking me, hey, do you know the title of this film? And I just know a lot of people haven't seen this film, and it's a really interesting, captivating, good war film. We're talking, it was done in Britain. It's 1955's The Dam Busters. Now, okay, time machine back to 1955. The best Oscar went to On the Waterfront, starring Marlon Brando. The the Chordettes were singing Mr. Sandman, which was the most popular thing on jukeboxes at the time. And a very popular Christmas toy was Gumby, which had recently come out as part of a television show. So Gumby's been around for a long time. It was also only 10 years, a very short time after the war had ended. Uh, so it was still very fresh in people's minds. So, the Dam Busters. Here's the premise. This Britain's at war. They really need to do something to cripple Germany's infrastructure, not in so much as their industrial complex. If they could stop them from help making things for the war, like, giant guns and tanks and things of that nature, that would go a long way to slowing them down. And this happens to be that most of the heavy industry was in this valley. And it had multiple dams going around this valley. But the problem with trying to attack the dams is you couldn't drop a bomb straight on. That would only just damage the top part of the dam. Not, dams are deep. So, and they also had torpedo nets on the water. So an airplane couldn't just drop a torpedo and expect to hit the dam. And again, the nets would stop the torpedoes and it would only hit the top part of the dam. Well, this guy came up with this ingenious idea. Make the bombs, design the bombs so that they were round. Come in low, really low, and then drop the bomb and have it skip over the surface of the water, and then it would hit the dam, not detonate, but then roll down the side of the dam and then explode, causing massive destruction. Lots of problems here. Designing the ball of the dam, teaching pilots how to fly in a completely new way to drop bombs, seeing if this whole thing could work. Well, after doing enough test tries himself with models, this guy managed to convince high command to pursue this. And this movie is all about how the Royal Air Force pulled this off. It's an amazing story. It's so fantastic you can't hardly believe this actually happened. The film did very well in the UK when it was released. Now, I should mention that there was a high attention to realism and detail. on this film. They wanted to, since it was only 10 years after the war, some of the planes were still available, so they were able to use the same planes. And some modifications had to be made to the planes. They were still part of the military infrastructure, but the Royal Canadian, the Royal Air Force. Anyway, they were very proud of this whole thing. So they used the same. They tried to use as much of the same stuff as possible, and as many of the original locations as possible. And of course, some things were changed a little bit for dramatic license, but also
it's 10 o'clock.
Because even then, it was 10 years after the fact, and things have changed. Like, the war room was now a cafeteria. Anyway, I think it was great that they were able to go in and actually use these materials instead of things like models. So a huge amount of the budget went into the renting and the production of getting these planes to function. So you're seeing all the original material. And they even had a lot of the people who were involved in the original project involved as advisors, etc. So this is an extremely accurate war film, and honestly, you think, oh my God, you just cannot believe the ingenuity, the tenaciousness. And yes, there was a high cost, but they pulled this off. 2 of the dams got flooded. It devastated the German heavy industry and significantly contributed to the end of the war. So this movie, Dam Busters, highly recommended. Please watch it. It's available on Canopy. Canopy spelled with a K, Kanopy. It's a free streaming service that is provided by local libraries and universities. All you need is a zip code and a library card, and you can be on Canopy. And if you like this video, please hit my like and follow buttons. I appreciate that. I'm trying to build up my followers. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to have another movie recommendation for you next week. I promise. This time it'll be either horror or sci-fi, maybe fantasy. Anyway, it won't be a war film, but please watch this one.